Hey everyone, it's Silverseeker, and today what I'm doing is we're just going to share some stories. So I had asked a couple of weeks ago on my community tab on my page. I said, "What got you into coin collecting and or silver stacking?" And I got a lot of responses, a lot more than I expected to get. Usually, you don't see a whole lot of people on the community tab. I don't know if the notifications don't go out or if people just aren't interested. But either way, I just thought I would ask that question and share my story and then share some of the other stories that other people have shared with me through the comments on that post. So I got into coin collecting when I was just a little kid. My dad was actually into coins my entire life, and what little kid doesn't want to follow in their father's footsteps when they're little? I grew up with it. It's something that I've always been around. I would sit with my dad while he was going through coins, and I would ask him questions, and he would give me little things here and there, stuff that would just kind of get me interested. That wasn't worth a whole lot because, little kids lose things and they lose interest and, stuff like that. And, he would give me little stuff and he would tell me stories about the coins and where they came from and the history behind them and things like that. And, as I grew up, I moved on from being into coins. Went to college and got married, had some kids and things like that. But I always had that love there in the back of my mind. It was something that was always with me. And, years later, I got back into it really heavily with my father. And, that was kind of a blessing to me. I'm glad that I did that when I did because that allowed me to have time with him when there wasn't much time left. I didn't know that I wasn't going to have much time left with my father when I really got back into it again really heavily. And like I said, I'm really glad I did because that time with my father, I don't know if I would have had it. He would take me fishing and sometimes he would go fishing with me and my kids, fishing with his grandkids. But the amount of time that we spent talking about coins and things like that, it was that one-on-one time with him that, I really cherish. It's memories that I have that I will always have until the day that I die. And, I hope to pass something along like that to my children, spending time with them and loving them and sharing my love for coins with them. And whether or not they pick it up or, they get back into it later in life like I did, I don't know. But I want them to have memories of me. And I find different ways to connect with them. And coins can be one of them. It doesn't necessarily have to be with coins. I mean, if they're not into it, I'm not going to force them to be interested, in this. I would hope that they are because it's something that I have a passion about and it's, a way for us to connect. I go out of my way to spend a lot of time with my children and show them things that I'm into and learn about things that they're interested in and into. I actually started playing Fortnite, which isn't a game that I particularly enjoy, but two of my kids were playing it at the time, and I wanted to spend that time with them. I wanted that one-on-one father-son time with my children, and that was a way for me to connect with them. So this is how I connected with my father, was through the love of coins. And the reason I'm holding this one in my hand, this is an 1879 O. This is Unk Details Artificial Toning. At least that's what NGC says. Now, the reason I'm holding this particular one is because it has a lot of meaning to me. My father and I would both grade coins. We actually would, take a stack of 10 or 20 coins, whether it be Morgans or anything, just pretty much anything. And we would both write down, what we thought the grade was going to be, and then we would send it off to NGC, and we would have it come back, and then we would compare and see who did better. We would score, who did better at getting these coins graded, who graded them more accurately. I'm not going to lie, he won more than I did, but there were plenty of times where I won. But he had a lot much more experience than I did, and so he won more often than I did. As time went on, I got better and better, but at first he absolutely annihilated me. But he would spend time with me and teach me why things graded the way they were and what to look for in different types of coins. And, it was a very special time. And the reason I have this one is because this is one of the last coins that we ever sent off. This was a batch of 10 coins that we had sent off, and we both graded this. I believe, I don't remember, but I believe I graded this at MS64, and he had put it at MS63. But what neither of us expected to happen was it to come back with artificial toning, and that's because this coin actually came out of a roll, It was the end coin. And so if you have them in a roll and then you put like a little piece of paper, whether it be a napkin or a paper towel or something on the top of it before you screw the cap down to hold the coins down so they don't bounce around. And so the center of this coin right here, the silvery part, that is where that piece of paper was. And the outside obviously is not where that piece of paper, I don't remember what it was. It was something. Anyway, we know that this was an original tone. Now, NGC said it was an artificial tone. And I remember my dad getting so upset because we've had other coins like this graded. Like, this isn't the first one that we've sent off that had this kind of tone that came back no issues. But for some reason, whichever grader decided that this was artificial that day, it really upset him. And so I just remember his face when he pulled it out of the box. And I remember him getting, visibly mad. I mean, he wasn't mad like screaming or irate or anything like that, but you could tell that he was really upset about this. And he knew that it was real. And we had talked about getting this sent off to be regraded. Unfortunately, it was only a couple of weeks later before we ever got around to it that he found out that he had cancer. And obviously it kind of got put on the back burner. There were other things more important. And unfortunately, that cancer is what took my father away from me. Cancer's like the worst thing ever. But anyway, that's why I have this. This is, of all the coins I ever have, this is the one that I will never ever get rid of. This one will always be with me till the day that I die, and I want to pass it down to my kids, and I want them to know the story as well, so that when they own it, they have the story. This is just one of those things that you don't get rid of, and I just wanted to share that with you. So anyway, now that you know my story, I wanted to go over to the community tab. I wanted to share with you some of the other stories. Now, obviously, they're not going to be as long as what I just told you, but they're no less important. Some people, did them really short, just say quick, I got into it because of my dad, or I got into it because of whatever. But either, it doesn't matter why, I really like the story. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at that really quick, and then I'll talk to you after. Okay, so here we are. This is on my community tab. You can see I did this 2 weeks ago. And the question was, what got you into coin collecting and or silver stacking? And then I did say, heads up before answering, that I may use your response in a future video. So Ray's World, here's looks like the top comment. He says, my wife was given a set of coins from the Bible. It included a shekel, a widow's mite, which I actually have a widow's mite. I don't have a shekel. One of the 30 pieces of silver, and a denarius. The only one I have of those is the widow's mite, but those are really cool. He said, I was fascinated and immediately hooked. I can send pictures if you want. I did tell him to send me pictures, so let's take a look at those. Paul Gross says that for me, each coin is a piece of history, and I love history. Just holding a coin from the 1800s and thinking about how many hands it has passed through on its journey to me fascinates me. And on the other hand, I love proof sets. Their luster and the beauty is unmatched. Paul Gross, I totally agree, my friend. If coins could talk, if they could just tell you, if they could speak to you, it's incredible. My brother started to save copper pennies 2 summers ago, and I decided to do it too. I put the stuff in my closet, and the next summer I was cleaning out my closet and found the coins. I began to search more than just pennies and began watching YouTube videos on coins and coin roll hunting. Within a couple of weeks, I got my first V-nickel, Liberty nickel, and made friends with the bank tellers. Mr. Dirty, one of my members, thank you so much, and one of my moderators. And by the way, guys, if you see this little mark right here, that means they are a member. Ray's World is a member as well. Mr. Dirty says, I've always been a collector of something as a hobby. The last few years, I got back into coins more because of the YouTube community. Oh, well, that's kind of cool. I'm glad to know that the YouTube community has effect on people like that. We have Watson Adventure says, my dad would bring me back foreign coins and currency from his deployments and give them to me, and it was his way of promising me that he will make it back. I would save them in a tin box, and that's how I got into coin collecting. And by the way, guys, Watson Adventures is also a member of the military and has served, so thank you to your dad and to you for serving RUCN Silver. Working at a precious metals office, I saw a lot of gold and silver bullion. Was never much into the coin part of it, but saw some beautiful coins worth thousands of dollars. Then started watching YouTube and started seeing coin roll hunters. It pulled me in, so I started collecting coins. I've always collected silver bars, but no coins. Also, my other half's dad died and left me some coins, so it led to me watching YouTube channels. This community is great. RUCN, thank you so much. Bama Boy says, seeing a bicentennial quarter in my change, loved it and wanted to see more unique items in my pocket change. So guys, what Bama Boy said here is actually really cool. Actually, the National Coin Week, which just passed a couple of weeks ago, that was the idea, to put stuff out into circulation that would pique people's interest. So clearly it works, as is the case with Bama Boy 251. Quackers, another one of my members, thank you so much, says, I watched videos and I found a wheat cent in my mom's purse. Awesome. Andrew Grenia says ravenous treasure is to blame. Fair enough. We have Josh Austin say I saw a game named Rob Finds Treasure going through coins on YouTube. Thought he was a whack job. That's hilarious, Josh. After buying a box of pennies to try and prove it was all staged, I realized it was fun and exciting. So here I am a year later having a blast hunting coins, and even have my wife and youngest daughter joining. Hey, Josh, that's really cool. So he actually bought a box of pennies trying to prove that it was staged and got proved himself wrong, and now he's into it. Josh, very cool, man. That is awesome, and welcome to the community. Mama Lou says, I had some coins about my father, but when my mother-in-law passed away, I found a bunch that she had saved. I was looking up values and just got drawn into the adventure of finding them. I somehow found a YouTube video of CRH, and I was hooked. I find it extremely relaxing. Enjoy the adventure of looking, and the unknown is what you will find. Mama Lou, I agree 100%. And okay, guys, there's more and more of these. I could keep on going and going. If you actually want to see them, just go over to the community tab on my page, and you can read them all for yourself. There's so many people with so much input, and I do appreciate the input from each and every one of you. Thank you for that. Guys, we're going to go ahead and end it here, but do me a favor. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button, and if you haven't done so yet, make sure you subscribe. We will be bringing you, obviously, more videos in the future, and we will see you in the next one. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day.